I'm Martin Unix and welcome to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be beginner based and we are going to tackle more about visible fishtail braid. As you can see, our today's tutorial will be a fishtail braid updo. So let me start by ironing out some points as pertains to this style, just for the sake of our beginners, because I realized that my camera placement was not good for the tutorial. So I shall show a sneak peek of the whole tutorial after this, but I will also go ahead and do some styling on a different mannequin so that I can iron out the techniques of doing the visible fishtail braid. So our focus today will be the visible fishtail braid. And why visible? It's visible because the sections are well pronounced, and the style comes out well defined, unlike the other types of fishtail braids. So let me just kick off by ironing out the points that I wanted to put through. And as you can see, I did a symmetrical fishtail braid which started all the way from the nape area. So if you can have a closer look, after reaching this part, I chose to pick the strands going underneath the fishtail formation. Why? Because I wanted to make the braid much flexible at the crown area so that I can manipulate the style the way I want. If I chose to do the strands over all the way to the crown area, then it could have meant that the style could be stiff in this area, and chances of manipulating the style into what I wanted could be challenging. So always, upon reaching this part, interchange the technique of picking the strands so that you can be able to manage your styling at the crown area. So notably, on this side, the strands might seem to be few, but I just created an illusion of, open space by letting the strands which were close to the fishtail braid to go underneath the fishtail formation so that I can create some room for the strands which are much far. Then I didn't want to make the strands closely packed, because I wanted to create that rhythm on my styling by creating some gapping at certain intervals and making the fishtail well pronounced. If the strands were closely packed, then I could have killed the beautiness of the fishtail, and the fishtail couldn't have come out well pronounced as it is. So you also need to put that into consideration when you are doing this style. So just for the sake of our beginners, I will have to redo this style on a slow down version. Then we shall show a recap of what happened on this style, because the lock strands on this case were well suited for the updo, unlike what I'm going to be using. So for the training purpose, I will be using this mannequin hand, and the lock strands are much longer, so they can't be well suited for the updo that I created on the other mannequin. So I'm going to repeat the process on this mannequin hand, then show a recap of what happened on the other mannequin hand. Remember that choice of styles goes hand in hand with the density of the lock strands and the length too. So let's just go ahead, and before you start, you need to start by identifying the center parting. Since we are going to do symmetrical fishtail braids by applying that technique of visible fishtail braid, we are going to identify the center parting. Then after that, I'll have to separate my lock strands a little bit to pave way for the styling. Then at the nape area, since we are starting at the nape area, I will start by picking two strands, cross them over that way, you see, you cross them over. Then I will twist the strands together to add some texture and closing the gap in between the next strands, as well as creating that pointed illusion of the fishtail braid as it starts. So let's go ahead and pick additional strands. I'll pick from this side, then over to the other side. To balance the fishtail braid, I will need to pick another strand from the other side to cross over that way. Now up to this point, the sections are well balanced. I have 2 strands on the right side, 2 strands on the left side. What are we going to do? The gap is much bigger in between the sections. So I need to pick one of the strands, that is the strand which came over. We'll just go under that way, then over to the center, then under, creating a figure 8 shape. That's how you do the visible fishtail braid, by creating that figure 8 shape. And if the gap is still longer, you need to redo it once more. Just go ahead and repeat the figure 8 shape that way. You close under, then over. Now next on this, I'm going to pick a strand from the left side, let it come over, then under on the right side, then over, drawing a figure 8 shape, then over back to the left side, then under once more, then over to the right side that way. Then I'm gonna be picking another strand from the right side that way, crossing it over, cross it over that way, then under on the left side, then over back to the right side, then under, over once more on the right side, back to the left side. Now from here onwards, I'll be picking strands, incorporating them to the fishtail braid as I work backwards. So let's pick a strand from this side, let it come over, then under. This time round, I will just go over once, leave it on that side, pick another strand from this side, let it come over, then under, then over, back to this side, the left side, then under, once more, draw a figure 8, then over to the right side that way. Very simple. Pick another strand from this side. Now one thing you'll note when I'm doing the styling, I'm also trying to balance the gapping in between the log strands. That's how you create the rhythm in the styling, to make the style more attractive to the eyes. So let's go ahead and continue. So at this point, I'm gonna pick the strands, let them come over that way. Then once more, I'm gonna draw a figure 8 shape back to the right side so that I can create room for this strand here. Let it come over, then under, over once more, right side, then over, back to the left side. That's how you do the fishtail braid, guys. That's how you do the fishtail braid. Now up to this point, since we don't want to closely pack the strands together on this side to create that matted appearance, we need to disguise some of the log strands which are closer to the fishtail braid by passing the strands underneath the styling. So some of the strands are these ones. So before then, let's pick the strand which is far away, cross it over, then under, over once more, draw a figure 8, the other side, over. You see, that way. Then I'm gonna pick a strand from this side, but before that, let's manage this strand here. Just pick it, let it come over to this side, over, to the other side. Remember, the strand has just gone under the fishtail braid because I didn't want to kill the pattern. I want to create that well-defined appearance of the visible fishtail braid as I work on and on. Then bring it over to this side to create some room on this side so that we can pick a strand from this area. That's how you do it. Very simple for our beginners. So let's pick this strand which is far away, let it come over. Now, up to this point, I truly believe that we are good to go. You can have a look on this side, the way I'm placing the lock strands while approaching the fishtail formation. Have a look on the other side, the way I'm, doing the gapping. This is how you create rhythm in your styling so that the style can be more attractive to the viewers. So that's it. I truly believe that I've shined enough light as pertains to how to handle the situation whenever you are doing the visible fishtail braid. And remember that we said that visible fishtail braid it's usually well defined and well pronounced. And in that case, you need to show how the sections, that is the lock strands, are coming together. You need to flip the lock strands over so that you can make the fishtail braid well defined. Here is a sneak peek of how the technique comes together in a full updo. Starting at the nape area, I worked with two main sections, drawing the logs over each other to form a finger eight shape. This method gives the fishtail its distinct woven look and handed visibility to each twist and curve. Now I worked through both sections, being guided by the basic concepts that I stipulated during the start of the video. Feel free to join my virtual classes for a deeper dive into styling techniques. Consider liking my work, comment, and share to your friends. I'm maintaining consistent tension throughout the braid so that I can enable the braid to have that seamless appearance all through. Once I reached the top of each section, I finished by creating barrel rolls at the crown, neatly tucking the ends to keep them secured. I repeated this exact process on the other side, carefully mirroring the first section to maintain balance and symmetry. To complete the look, I molded the barrels forward, angling them down towards the center of the brows. This finishing touch brought the updo into life, creating a beautiful fishtail illusion that highlights the intricate weave at the front. Here it is, the final masterpiece. As the mannequin turns, each angle reveals the beautiful fishtail weave and seamless barrel finish at the crown. This style combines elegance with a strong, stylish impact, which is truly eye-catching. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and I hope this sneak peek inspires your next lock creation. Thanks for watching the tutorial. I hope the tutorial was informative. Consider sharing to your friends, like, comment, and stay locked for more tutorials to come.